Hey, this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about how a bad software developer can destroy your business. Alright, so it has been a while since I've done an Overpass Insights video. It's been like a week and a half. I mean, for me a while is like, if I don't get one done a week, I feel like I'm just really, I feel antsy, like I'm slacking in life. But the reason I haven't done one is because I've been really busy. I've had a few issues on a project, and I'm going to tell you guys about it. It's embarrassing to me, so like keep your criticism light. But if I don't, so a lot of you guys are thinking about doing your own software companies. A lot of you guys are thinking about taking on client work to support your own application development. And if I don't share the mistakes I've made and I only talk about the successes, then what good am I, right? So, and this is, it is kind of embarrassing. So basically, we have lots of projects on, and we've had lots of projects in the past, and sometimes they go really well, sometimes there's some hiccups or whatever, and sometimes it's me at the end coding away at night, finishing something off because the developer just couldn't finish it. Maybe they've left, maybe they've gone missing, or maybe I've just lost confidence in them. And this time, I've just lost confidence in them. So this is a project which I thought would take about 3-4 weeks to do. I mean, and that's like a conservative estimate. Like I thought if you really worked at it, you could do it a lot faster. But I've talked many times before, I work with offshore developers, so I have a team in India that I work with a lot, or I've worked with on a few projects. And when I said, okay, I really want to get this thing done in Flutter, you guys, is this something we could do? This, oh yeah, we got somebody really good, which is, you hear it all the time. We thought, okay, well, let's go with it. And to be honest with you, I had taken on too much work, and I was happy just to let somebody else take care of that. So we started working on it, and I said, basically after about a month, they were like, oh, we can't connect to the API, and it was just like, week after week, so what's wrong with it? So finally, the person who hired them, had to go through and connect to the API through some Dart Flutter code, through some Flutter code in Dart, and then just give them the example of how to actually connect to the API, because it wasn't that difficult, so they could, modularize it or whatever. And in the end, what they did was they took that code and copied it again and again and again and again, which is, not the best practice. Anyway, so, a couple months go by and, things are a bit slower than normal, but okay, at least we're seeing something come out, but it's buggy, like really buggy. And the client's complaining about it, saying, this is not, first of all, it doesn't look great, and it's really slow, and it fails, like, it fails a lot. Like it very rarely does it actually save to the backend API. So we have some conversations about it. I look at the code and I thought, ooh, I should have looked at the code a lot earlier. So we have and I'm not like a Flutter expert, right? I am, but I've read the documentation. I've read a few books on it, and I can tell you that they weren't following the standard practices. They weren't using object-oriented designs. They weren't using the from JSON to JSON object model. They were just basically loading JSON, filling in a form. When you hit submit on the form, taking all the text fields out of that, putting it into a new JSON and submitting it. So you'd have like misspellings or whatever, just non-modular designs, just rookie stuff, right? But then I was kind of at the point where I was like, okay, this is sloppy, this is messy, but if it works, let's get it working. And then another month goes by and another month goes by, and and it gets to a point where it's ridiculous. And this project, so finally last week, I just said, look, you guys, you've had your last chance, right? It's like I was kind of hoping the developer would just, like, even if he was just starting off on Flutter and supposedly was an expert, even if he was just starting, he would eventually get better. But no, it was constantly go, go, go. Now, I talked before about how if you're going to hire a software company, you don't want a software company with one developer. Otherwise, you might as well just hire a freelancer. But that's basically what I got, the one developer. I was like, I need somebody to review this code because I shouldn't be the one doing it. And they were like, oh, yeah, Eric, no, we get you. And then nothing, right? So it's hugely embarrassing. It's embarrassing for my reputation with the client. It's embarrassing to share it with you guys, because basically I should have looked at the code earlier. I should have caught this earlier. I should have let them go earlier. I do this journal every morning as part of my morning routine, and I looked at an entry 6 months ago and I was complaining about the same project, right? We've been like 90% of the way done for months, like at least 6 or 7 months. And I have been, but we were nowhere near that, because once I went through and started last week, when I fully took ownership of the code, it was like, a lot of things would never have worked. I mean, they weren't just sloppy, they were like wrong. There was hard-coded values in there, all kinds of stuff, things that would make it past testing, but they would never get any further. So I took that over, and I've been working crazy hours ever since, nights and weekends, and also pushing other work aside in the day so that I could finish this one project off and at least deliver it to the client, because it's my responsibility, right? I wasted too much time on a bad developer, all right? And I started to think about, this, where I've had lots of clients come to me, or prospects come to me and say, Eric, we've got this app, and it's been with this development company for a year or 6 months, and they're just not getting it. Like every time it's failing all the time. We're not sure if the code's any good. They told us they were experts, but and I'd ask if I get a look at the code. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But when you look at the code, you think, okay, well, this is like, it might be working, but you could, as an experienced software developer, like a lot of you guys are software developers out there, you could tell the difference between somebody who's thrashing about and somebody who's like making good decisions on code. Like they're thinking about the foundation and the architecture, and you got somebody who's just like, oh, I'll just put an if statement in here. I'll just do this. I'll just do this. And they're just thrashing about trying to get something work. And that's basically what it is. So the last week I've just been rewriting this code almost entirely from scratch. And if you've ever rewritten somebody's code, it's not like you just go and tweak it. It's like slash and burn, like get rid of this. This is inefficient way of doing this, whatever. And I hate to criticize other people's codes, basically because I've been in a software for like over 20 years, and I've worked in teams, and I know one of the easiest things it is to do as a software developer is to badmouth someone else's code, right? Because everybody's learning, and you might just have differences of opinion, but this, wow. So anyway, I once read this quote years ago, I think it was from somebody in Microsoft, saying that the difference between a good developer and a bad developer is not, twice as good or 3 times as good. It's hundreds of times better, right? And one of the things that I find scary is that a bad developer can not only add time to your project, add cost to your project, it can destroy your business, or he or she can destroy your business if you don't catch it early. And I feel bad for the people who might have a really bad developer, and they're still waiting, they're still hoping, because like for months I've been hoping, with the sleepless nights and the stress in my back, I've been hoping that this will get better. And finally, last week, I took ownership of it again. I'm working tirelessly on it, but I'm less of a victim and starting to at least claw my reputation back with this client, I hope. Anyway, but the fault on me is I didn't do this 6 months ago or 8 months ago, because it's been like 10 months in this project. Man, that's embarrassing. Anyway, let me know if you guys have had a similar situation, just dealing with bad developers, if you've hired somebody and had a similar situation, or what you think the difference between a good developer and a bad developer is. Because we're all at different stages, right? My hope is that this developer that was working on this and thrashing about will get better with time, but I was hoping it'd be a lot faster than it seems to be taking. But anyway, that's why I haven't been doing it. But we are doing the live stream tomorrow night. So if you're around tomorrow night, join us for the live stream. It's fun. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, please join us. We'd love to have you. And anyway, that's it for today. I will talk to you again next time.